pull this closer. And there we are. All right. Hello, everybody. It seems like it's been a week since I've been doing a live stream. Oh, that's right, because it has been. YouTube is awesome. Awesome. So, well, I'm glad to be back. I've missed all you guys and chatting with everybody. I appreciate everybody checking in. So that has been awesome as well. And I do appreciate, all the support. Uh, I think it's amazing that the games that are being played with YouTube, and it's not just me. So I'm not like doing the poor me syndrome type of thing. It's a lot of games going on with a lot of different channels, and I don't get it. I really don't, because it's like you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. But well, what are you gonna do? But anyway, I am back. I'm glad to be back. Uh, and like I said, it's been a weird week not making videos and not doing my live streams, because it's been doing it for so long now. It's a big part of what I do. But I'm not going to get into details. But the strike that they gave me was on an older video. It wasn't on a newer video, because I've adhered to all their rules and regulations. There's certain dates that we don't talk about. There are certain events that we can't discuss. There is, other things that medically that we cannot discuss or not allowed to discuss, I should say, freely. I don't know whatever happened to a free country. And when you give your opinion, that you get punished for giving your opinion. But it is what it is. There's nothing that we can do about it. So that's what we got to deal with. So that's where we're at. But very, very happy to be back. Like I said, missed all you guys. And so of course, now this weekend is the weekend of our get together, right? So Mark got in last night, and I helped him unload his truck. We got all his stuff into his building, and then he went to went to sleep, and then got up and he started going at it and doing his thing down there, which that's what he had wanted to do. And so this morning woke up with a dusting of snow. So did you like my comment in my video earlier today? I said, "Wait, the blizzard at the homestead." It was a joke, obviously. Um, but it's snowing right now here. We might get 2 inches of snow, they're saying, which is no big deal. Uh, Other guys have been coming in today, and they'll have a few more people coming in tomorrow. But it just seems, and here's the weird part. So all week leading up to yesterday, and even yesterday wasn't bad weather-wise. Uh, then the weather goes to crap for Friday, Saturday. Sunday we'll be back. Now tomorrow I think we're only looking at a high of like 31, low of 22 overnight, and then Sunday it'll be 47 for a high, and then by Monday we'll be back into the 50s. So for whatever reason, whatever weekend we do our get-togethers, it's either raining or snowing. We've had one good weekend weather-wise where it was like dry. Like now tomorrow's not supposed to be. It's just going to be cold, but we're not supposed to get any snow. So it is what it is. It's just things are going to get done. We're going to be working on some stuff, and we're going to get rocking and rolling on the projects that we want to do down here. Obviously, Mark right now is down, putting up insulation and getting his building buttoned up and squared away, and he's doing a great job. So, but anyway, so that is that. But yeah, it's just the wettest one was New York. Yeah, it's yeah, New York. Yeah, when we did our get together for the prepper gathering in New York, that weekend, it was like Woodstock. And anybody that knows the history of Woodstock, it rained and it was muddy and crappy, and that's what it was like when we did our get together. Especially everybody that was camping out. We had a huge fire going, but it was just like mud all the way around. We still had a great time. We had a lot of fun, but that was funny. So anyway, but yes, so uh good to be back. Like I said again, and it's been quite interesting. So anyway, the topic of this video is talking about, are you guys ready for what's coming? And we're definitely going to have some things to discuss. I have uh, I, my number one concern for a long, long time, And like people have said to me, what do you think is the most likely scenario that could happen? And I have said for a very, very, very long time, a grid down situation is the most likely thing that could happen. Now, there was just information that just came out. The president was talking about it, and he was saying, and of course, it's the Russians, right? It's not the Chinese. No, the Chinese would never do that to us. Never the Chinese. Always it's the Russians. The Russians are the bad guys. So he was saying that they were concerned about a cyber attack, on the grid, and that is a real possibility. And so I'm not going to say that it would be our own government that would do it and blame it on somebody else, but boy, that wouldn't surprise me. You always have to deflect blame. It has to be somebody else. I really am very, very concerned about a grid down situation. Yeah, like what happened with the airplanes. Randy Romines, there has been a lot of cyber stuff going on, a lot of cyber attacks. That's been an ongoing thing for. No, no, Mark did not use rock wool insulation. Rock wool insulation, folks, is a lot more expensive. Lot more expensive. And he had a lot of area that he needed to insulate the walls, the ceiling and stuff like that. So he went with something that was more affordable, and he did what he had to do, and I get it. I get it. So but I said rock wool. I did not say Rockwell. I said rock wool. So, um, but anyway, so that's why he went with that. So, but when he's done with that cabin, it's going to be a really nice buttoned up place. Yeah, he says. Yeah, he's right in the chat. He said I wanted to. It's a lot more expensive. A lot more expensive. So, oh, someone in the chat. Okay, Randy Romines. Okay, all right. Someone in the chat. Okay, sorry. I just saw it come up, and I'm like, I said rock wool. So, um, had gas stoves in New York to go away. Oh yeah, they're trying. Well, see, they can't ban people that already have them. Okay, JJ, they can't ban people that already have a gas stove. They can't make them get rid of their gas stoves. But what they can do is any new construction, any new homes that are built, any new high rises, any of that type of stuff, they can ban them from that. So if you already had that, in New York, then you're kind of like grandfathered in, and then that's what they're doing. But yeah, it's just that whole thing is probably one of the most stupidest things that our power grid cannot handle what it needs to do now. How is it going to handle all the more people using electric stoves and all that type of stuff? So it's just the blind leading the blind, in my opinion, with that one. It's not a very smart thing, not a very smart thing at all. But all right, so we're getting off track. I'm going to get back on track for once, right? I'm going to. What do we got? Something on my head. What is that? Piece of okay, little lint. I had a hat on, so it's probably. I just looked and I saw that on the side of my head. All right, sorry. but but anyway, so what grid down situation is definitely something very, very concerning. Again, that is our Achilles heel. So my thing to you guys, I would again, I'm always going to encourage you to prep. I'm always going to encourage you to get ready, uh, but to be prepared for a situation where there would be a grid down situation is very, very important because when when it happens, folks, you got to remember a lot of you guys in the chat or here in the chat are preppers, people that live off grid, people that are preparing already. We have to understand a majority of people are not. And when I say the majority, 93% of people are not prepared for a 2 week disaster. You know, and get your double A and your D batteries. And along with that, Nate, I would suggest for most people, if you're going to get your batteries like that, get rechargeable batteries. something that you can recharge. I'm a big believer in rechargeable batteries. I think I actually, where did I put them? Yeah, I put them right here. I just picked up more of the AA batteries that are the rechargeables. So it says on here one of these batteries is equal to 370 alkaline batteries. So with being able to recharge them over and over and over again and use them in a headlamp, um, I'll show you something else that I had just picked up. That hold on, let me grab this. So when it's nighttime and you're trying to do stuff at night, or like with Mark in the cabin, I let him borrow a couple of these to use in the cabin. When we get going more with the bunker and we start digging in, these here, they're absolutely awesome. So I'm gonna turn it on and I'm gonna blind you guys for a minute, and I'm just gonna show you. All right, that's the lower setting. So it has the three settings. This kicks out 1,500 looms, and so it is amazingly awesome. And it is run with. Hold on, I will show you on here. We'll pop this off. It's six AA batteries. Okay. Um, so what's cool about this is with having the rechargeable batteries, and I got this. You can see right on there, Rule King. Uh, it's a great work light, and it has the stand, so you can either stand it or you can hang it if you need to. I saw them. I was there the other day, and I picked up four of them. $10 a piece. You really can't go wrong with that. And if you have these, and there's no, this is not a pitch. I'm not getting any money to do this. It's just information I'm sharing with you guys because I saw them, I picked them up, and I thought they were amazing. And I initially picked up two, and I went $10 a piece. A lot of light, long lasting. All right, I got it. And so yeah, so but so the RV. We'll talk about this here in a second. Hold on one second. Let me get a. But anyway, it's a great thing to have another light source, and if you have the rechargeable batteries and a way to recharge the batteries, even off of a small solar system, being able to use that over and over and over again is a huge thing. So I would encourage you to go there if you got a Rule King in your area. So there, it's I if I had I'm going to tell you what, Tractor Supply has its own stuff that's pretty cool. Really am now a huge fan of Rule King. I've never seen him before I came down here. Rob actually told me, he said, "Yeah, there's the Rule King up in the one town." He said, "You definitely should go and check it out." And I said, "Okay, yeah, I will." He goes, "Oh man, you're gonna love it." Well, I absolutely, it's fantastic. I love the place. Uh, I'm like a little kid in a candy store when I walk in there. I just love it. It's just they got everything. But anyway, so yeah, it's being prepared the best way that you possibly can and putting yourself in a situation for success as opposed to failure, I think is important. And so, rechargeable batteries, D's, uh, double A's, C batteries, all those you can get rechargeables. And I would encourage you to do that. And again, with a small solar system, it doesn't have to be big. It can be one of those fold out systems that you basically, it's a 40 watt or whatever, and you put it in the sun. You can use it to charge up your phone, whatever, electronics that you have, and that type of stuff. Those will work as well. So, but Lena says I don't have Rule King here. Yeah, I don't have. They're not in New York either, but they're down here in West Virginia, and like I said, one of the guys in my group had said, "Oh man, you got to go check this out," and great decision. So yeah, I absolutely love the place. But anyway, again, being putting yourself in a position for success is going to be really important. What do we got? 483 in the chat, guys. We got 160 thumbs up so far. If you have not shot the thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much ahead of time. It also makes a big difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction, the better it is for the channel that way as well. So I thank you for that reason. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would encourage you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you. I do appreciate that. Can't let them win. You know what I mean? The game. I must be doing something right. I must be hitting a nerve. I think for the degree that I'm being messed with on YouTube, and it's so I got to be doing something right. I'm always going to encourage you guys to be prepared, to be as ready as you can be. I'm not going to do, I try not to do fear porn because I don't think that it's productive. There's plenty of channels out there. If you want to go be scared to death, then go and watch those channels, and that's great. I'm going to encourage you to be proactive and not tell you that the world is ending tomorrow because I don't know when it's going to change. It's there will always be change, So my biggest issue was I had breast cancer 14 years ago. Yeah. Well, I this year will be 8 years since I had my cancer surgery. Yes, I was in YouTube jail for a week, and I just came back today. And then they gypped me too. I got to tell you, they gypped me too. So I got my strike last Friday at 11:30. So I already had my video that I was going to put up. So they ended up making that private, so it never went live. And I actually since have removed that because I wanted to put a video up today. And then I had set up for my live stream, ahead of time. And so by 11:30 today, it should have come off. Well, it didn't. I wasn't able to upload until 2 o'clock. So I was like, they jipped me out of 2.5 hours or 3 hours. So I was just, well, I appreciate you guys, and I thank you everybody for so actually, one of the things I did want to say too, um, a bunch of people had sent a bunch of Christmas cards down to me, and I never got a chance to say thank you for all the Christmas cards and stuff like that. Somebody actually even sent me a 50-cent piece, a silver, true silver 50-cent piece. So thank you for that as well. I got to show you something else that got sent to me. This was very, very cool. Mountain Girl sent this down, and so sweatshirt. Anybody that knows this channel knows I love the whole Vikings. Love, love, love anything Viking. And so she sent that down, and I, just got that, and so that was very, very cool of her as well. But anyway, do I believe there will be a some kind of an attack on our power grid? I do, and I think it's going to be bad when it happens. Uh, Again, that is our biggest Achilles heel. So the more prepared we are, the more things that we have set in place to help us cope and deal with that situation is better. If you're a brand new prepper, is it too late for you to start? No. The only time that it is too late is after an event. Then it's too late because I have said this over and over and over again as well. When SHTF happens, and I do believe it's a matter of when, not if, okay, you're going to have what you have, period. So if you have, oh, I'm going to go here or I'm going to do that, right? That's great. It's great to have that thought. But if you haven't got a concrete plan in place on how you're going to get there, alternate routes to get to the location that you're trying to get to, it's easy to take the highways right now, right? Jump on a highway, go. You can go for however long you need to go, and that's great. But in a true SHTF situation, you may not be able to use the highways. The highways may be cut off or a parking lot. So you need to make sure that you have alternate routes to get to the location that you want to get to. Put yourself in a situation to win. Do you think there's a chance the United States could be nuked? They are pushing that scenario quite a bit, Melissa, and that's a great question. I'm never going to say never that could happen. I think it would be more likely that we would have some kind of a dirty bomb, if you will, detonated in, say, Washington or New York City, something like that would cause catastrophic casualties and mess things up. New York City would be the more logical target because it's so big and there's so many people there, and it's also the financial capital as well. So that would and that would be the most likely area if there was going to be something like that would happen. Uh, with all the stuff that's going on, and all the games that are being played around the world, would it shock me if these lunatics out there, and I'm not going to say which ones because there's so many, uh, wouldn't start something like that? It would not shock me at all. You know, what about a suitcase like nuke? That's a possibility as well. There's a lot of things obviously that can happen that, but like I said, the more likely thing it would be some kind of an attack on the grid that we've already been having them. There's already been a bunch of copycats attacks since that power stations down in North Carolina happened, and it just takes one idiot to or a group of idiots to get a bug in their bonnet and decide that let's go, we're gonna set this off or whatever. And unfortunately, like I said, a lot of people. Hey, Asif, how you doing tonight? A lot of people are just not ready. They're just not ready, and that means there is a lot of victims waiting to happen. So again, I don't want you guys to be victims. I want you to be proactive. I want you to put yourself in a situation to be successful, because believe me, it people have no idea how truly bad things will be. People may have some kind of an idea, but they really truly do not have any idea, because realistically, let's be honest, in the United States of America, we have not had any kind of really true suffering in a long, long time. World War II never touched us here, realistically. There was no invasion on U.S. soil, and we never had to deal with having our cities bombed and stuff like that, because back then it was just too far to get to us. Well, now with nukes, anybody can reach out and touch you. But a small nuclear attack could probably be averted. They have systems in place to help that, to early warning and know that something's coming. But, if it's an all out attack, and, that would be a bad, bad thing. It would be a horrible, horrible situation. Uh, we have a lot of resources in the United States, a lot of resources. So the most likely, again, most likely scenario would be a grid down situation, because they know, and who is they? Anybody that has a half a brain in their head, that pays attention, that knows what's going on, and they have smart people working for them, obviously, right? Um, I will talk about the skirting in just a second. I promise. Um, they have very smart people working for them, and they know that we'll eat ourselves here in the United States. Uh, if the grid goes down for any length of time, and let's say the grid went down for 6 weeks, 6 weeks, you know how many less people would be in the United States after 6 weeks? It'd be a whole lot less people, a whole lot less. All the compromised folks, and I've talked about this before. People, I have, you know, the compromised folks. A good example: hurricane coming into Florida, nursing home. What did they do? Did they stay at the nursing home and help take care of those old people, or did those people jet? Right? They jetted. They did the same thing down in New Orleans when all that situation happened there. Um, Very few people would stay and do the right thing, if you will, the right thing, and help those people out. They're thinking of themselves. Okay, that's what they're thinking of. So if there's a grid down situation uh, for any length of time, and no, you got to realize, grid down situation, goods aren't moving. Nobody's getting new supplies into the stores. Stores would be emptied out within hours because of looters. That will happen. That is not an if. That's, they already know that that type of stuff would happen. Uh, you know, so there's not going to be anything available to go get after a grid down situation. And after 4 or 5 days of a grid down situation, it would get really, really ugly, really, really ugly. So if the grid was down, countrywide for any length of time, or any part of the country, let's say the East Coast. I mean, there's a lot of people on the East Coast, a lot of people on the West Coast. If that grid went down in those areas, it'd still be as catastrophic for the rest of the country, because that would be affected as well. Think about the amount of supplies that are shipped by truck from the West Coast to the East Coast every single day. And you know, it's just, but people don't think about those type of things because we go to the store and everything's there and it's wonderful, you know. So, but excuse me. So yeah, it's a rough situation. It really, really is, and you got to be prepared as much as you can. But we lost electric for 7 days when Hurricane Gloria hit Long Island. I was 6 months pregnant. Yeah, that had to be not a whole lot of fun. Especially if you weren't ready for that. And you know those disasters don't come out and say, "Hey, we're gonna, be ready next week. A disaster's coming." You need to be prepared ahead of time for that. All right, so we'll talk about the camper a little bit. So again, what are we at? 599 in the chat, guys. We're at 245 on the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. So there's at least half of you that haven't done it yet. So I do appreciate that. Also, again, it really makes a huge difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction, comments, obviously thumbs up, it really helps the channel as well. So I do appreciate that as well. Again, if you're not subscribed, I would ask you again to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, colder weather is here. How's the camper holding up? Okay. With the skirting done, and I still have the opening in the very front, this end of the camper, because I'm going to put a board in there, and then I'm going to finish that up. But with everything else skirted, the backside here and both of the sides coming up this way, huge difference. The other thing that I have done, I have one window left to go, but what I've done is with the windows, I have now I'll show you the felt that I'm using for this too. But I put plastic up first over the windows and taped all the way around to seal the plastic, and then I'll show you this felt. I'll just show you a piece of this here. This is just kind of, it's not real thick, but it's more of a heavier felt, if you will. And so what I've been doing, this is like a leftover piece from what I've cut off, but I still have plenty of that left over. And so what I've done then, over the plastic, I put this felt over the top of the plastic, and I've taped that around the window as well. So you got the plastic first, then that felt, and they're both taped on there. And then I pulled the blinds down over them, and that, I'm going to tell you what, that has made a huge difference as well. And so it's much more comfortable. It doesn't take as much energy to keep it warm in here, which has been great. So again, the first time when we had that real cold snap, completely my fault, my mistakes. But again, I may learn the hard way, but I learned, and I go, I didn't like that. It wasn't a good time. So I've done something about it. And so that's why, I got onto that and took care of that. And like I said, when I close up the very front of that as well, I think that'll actually make a difference even a little bit more. But the wind is generally coming off the hill this way. So that's why I wanted to make sure the front and the back side here, and then also the very back of the camper was, boxed in. And, we had really big, strong winds the other day when the rains were coming through. So everything's holding up fine, no issues whatsoever, and much better. So you changed up your munchies behind me? A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I got my shredded wheat, old school shredded wheat, the biscuits. I had to pick those up. The crackers, I love the crackers. So I like to do. I get the blocks of cheese, and I cut them up and do that. So I like those as well. But yeah, but I got my sweet tooth too, so that's my Achilles heel. Oh, okay, and I'm gonna make the announcement today. I'm gonna grab something else to show you. Big box came today. what we're going to start doing, and we're going to start this on Sunday. This big whole box is a bunch of books. Ron Foster sent me a tremendous amount of books, and so we're going to start doing some giveaways. Uh, Post-apocalypse railroad. Okay. The solitary man's refuge. Let's see what else we got here. Two old men, too old to die. It's a book by Ron. These are all books by Ron Foster. So he sent me a whole bunch of books here, folks. And I don't even. I'll have to go through these and look. But what we're going to start doing, we're going to start doing some giveaways with these books, and so, and I will try to get things out in a timely manner for anybody that wins. I have been, like I said, a little busy, so I do have a tendency to put things off, and I do apologize. But but yes, egg count giveaway. I don't know. Maybe Asa. I'm not sure. Well, I would rather just kind of do it at some point in the chat, and we may do that. We may do it that way. But anyway, so Ron sent me a bunch of books. So thank you, Ron, for that. We had talked about that right around Christmas time, and he said he goes, "I'll send you down a bunch of books, and you know, rules you can do them for giveaways." So I'm definitely going to do that. But anyway, so that's yeah, so that's what's happening with that, and so we're going to definitely be doing those giveaways of the books. I have a bunch. Ron sent me a bunch of books that I have a whole bunch of his books already. So, uh, what is it? What is that one railroad one about? I don't know. Um, I'll be looking at stuff. Literally just came today. We had gone out and we were getting actually so on the road that I live on up here. There's sawmills, and one is a big time operation that they have where they're doing a lot of stuff, and the other sawmill is a smaller sawmill. And so Ronnie had suggested, he said, instead of trying to go down into the woods and in everything's wet and slick and it's a mess, he says you should see if the sawmill, if we can't get some wood from the slab wood from the sawmill. So Ronnie and I went over to this gentleman's house, knocked on the door. He was home, and I had said to him, I said, I told him I was one of his neighbors, and I said, is there a possibility that we could buy, a truckload full of slab wood? He said, no, I'm not going to sell you any slab wood. He goes, you can have it though. I'll give it to you for free. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. So he invited us in. Ronnie and I went in there, sat down with him, talked for maybe 10 minutes. And then, he's like, yeah, if I'm here or not here, he goes, anytime you want any of the slab wood, just pull up and take what you want. And I'm like, that is awesome. So we got a load of slab wood, brought it back here, and I took the chainsaw and we chopped everything, so we could burn this weekend with the fire and stuff like that. So, that worked out awesome, so, but, uh, but yeah, I'm going to tell you what, you get out into the country, it is a different mindset, really, truly different mindset. Okay, what slab wood is when they're making boards and you got your tree, they take off, a small section with the bark and stuff, and they make the circle into like a square, so they can make boards out of it. Well, the circle part that's waste, that's called slab wood. So that's your the law or the people that are milling the wood, they don't use that. It goes into a pile. It's just waste. And so people that use it, they use it to burn for your fires or whatever the case may be. It's still it's some of it's pine, some of it's oak or whatever they're using. So it's scrap wood, and so he just was giving it away, and so it was really really cool. So yeah, he said he goes, yeah, I've been here my whole life. I've lived up here. He did 20 years in the mines, doing coal in the mines, and then he retired from that, and now he does. This gentleman does some wood, not on a large scale, but he goes, I don't do a lot in the winter. He goes, it's too cold. He goes, but yeah, free wood for the wood stove, exactly. So that was amazingly awesome. But I asked him, I go, well, how many acres do you have up here? He has a small parcel, folks. He only has 500 acres, 500 acres of land up here. I'm like, holy crap. So yeah, very, very, really, really super nice guy. And so I'm like, I'm all proud that I got, 25 acres down here. I got 3 acres in New York. So from going from a 3 acre, piece of land to having 25, I'm like, wow, I got a lot. And this guy's got 500 acres. I'm like, holy crap. But it's the people up here are really, really decent, really, really decent. So, very, very fortunate. I feel, like I said, I feel blessed to be where I'm at. Surrounded by good people, and it's been an amazing, amazing journey. And I'm excited to see where things go. So far this month, except for today, right? Overnight, last night, today, and tomorrow, and then it's going to warm back up again. This month has been very, very mild. I know it's more mild than they normally have down here, obviously. I'm absolutely happy. I have 25 acres down here, stealth mode. I have 25 acres down here. And believe me, that's a lot of, to me, it's a lot of land. 25 acres is a very nice amount of land. So, nobody can get close. So I like that. I like that part of it. Um, but again, the people around here, and and I've panned around. I've shown you guys, it's nothing but woods. I mean, it's a lot of woods out here, and because of the terrain and stuff like that as well, it's not a lot of people are going to come out here and want to build. So that it's just perfect area, perfect area. But I want to get back a little bit and talk more about being ready for what's coming. Over and over and over again, they've done these drills, right? If you remember before the pandemic happened, what did they do? They did a drill about a possible pandemic and how they would deal with that. That was in 2000. What was that? 18, 19. They did that drill, right? I think it was 2019. They did that drill, if you remember. And then what happened the next year, right? I mean, how was it? How was it that Fauci had the foresight to realize that during President Trump's presidency that there would be a pandemic? I don't know how he did that. It's amazing if you think about it. But he did say that before that that he would be facing a pandemic during his presidency, and that's not false information. That's coming out of Fauci's mouth. So I'm not making something up or making a false statement. I'm not saying anything was coordinated ahead of time. I'm just sharing information. I'm just sharing thoughts. So I don't want to say anything. But what is the latest thing that they have done? Another drill, preparedness wise. They have been preparing for a grid down situation. Okay. That's what they've been talking about. They're very concerned, cyber attacks, all this type of stuff. It's a matter of flipping a switch, folks. And literally, as I said before, we would eat each other. You take away everybody's creature comforts. And the worst possible scenario, yeah, they're doing grid down drills. Yes, Asif. Yep, that's what I was just saying. That's the big thing that they've been doing now. So thank you very much, Asa, for the donation. I do appreciate that. But that's what they're talking, and that's what they're doing now, is they're preparing for a grid down situation, which again, to me, and I don't know how many times I have to say it, that is our Achilles heel, is the power grid. That's our Achilles heel. And if we have a grid down situation, we're going to be in big, big trouble. Big trouble. And so, you know, a six a 6 week grid down. Let's go with that. Let's go with a 6 week grid down situation. Could be longer, could be less. But if we have no power grid for 6 weeks, you know, it would be a nightmare situation. The nuclear power plants have backup systems and all that type of stuff. People would lose their minds, Lena. You're right. People would lose their minds. You think about this. Let's look at this scenario. A grid down situation for 6 weeks. How many people would not be here if the power went back on after 6 weeks? A lot. And because drug addicts ain't going to be able to get to drugs, nothing's going to be moving. No, nothing is going to be uh, moving and grooving. Anybody that is on the system that gets their free food and free everything, they're not going to be able to go to the store and get anything. They're not going to be able to go to the store and get anything. So you would have, every compromised person, if nobody's going to work to take care of them and they don't have the supplies, you have to understand, because I've worked in nursing homes, and I've worked in hospitals and stuff like that. But I'm going to go with a nursing home. Let's look at a nursing home. They have supplies coming in all the time. Diapers. There's somebody doing the laundry, cleaning the sheets, cleaning the towels, cleaning all that type of stuff that needs to be cleaned every day. All those people would have nobody. There's no meds coming in. I worked nights when I worked. We would have the meds would come in like twice a day. Twice a day the meds came in. So now all of a sudden no meds are coming in. So these people would have no medication to take. They would have no way of cleaning and washing them up, because as soon as the grid goes down, the water's not pumping, and so there's no running water. Where are you going to get the water from to wash them up, if you could wash them up? As soon as the diapers run out that you have, in stock, now where are you going to get anything like that to do that? And who do you got there that's going to do it? I mean, and that's just one situation. Now, on top of that, how are you cooking these people food? How are you going to get them their meals, 3 meals a day, right? Kitchen staff ain't going to show up if there's no power. And maybe the first day, maybe the second day, some people would come. After 3 4 days, and they realize how bad it is and how what the situation is, you ain't going to see the administration around. I can guarantee you that they'll be long gone. Okay. So that is just that microcosm of one small thing. Now let's put that on a bigger scale. Let's look at if somebody is in a city, right? Yeah, no clean drinking water. Exactly. So how are you purifying the water? How are you taking care of that? I mean, it would be so bad, so fast. How long do you think those people would last in those nursing homes? Not very long, you know. So Donna Hoffman, I have not, my dear. I have not. Donna, again, let me. I know this is terrible, and I'm pretty sure I got your email. Please, 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 Donna, send me another email with your address. Okay. All right. I will try to get it out this week for you. I promise. I will make a very concerted effort to get that. And it's right here. I'll show you. It's right here. Hold on. There it is, sitting right there. Um, so I do have it, Donna, and like I said again, I do apologize that I have not got that out yet. There's been a lot going on, and so not making excuses, because I should have taken care of that long, long time ago. But I will. And like I said, now I got a whole bunch more books from Ron, so I will get your book out first. So Ron was in the chat a few minutes ago. Okay, but Yeah, so my apologies on that. I know I want to get that out to you. I will. So yeah, you know what, Don? I'll tell you what. That's a good idea. What? Not only will I send you that book, I'll send you one of these other ones as well. Is kind of a makeup for me being so not taking care of things right away. All right, we'll do that. That's a good thing. So, but uh, but you're not forgotten. So I already started buying 5-year-old shelf life food, and they have canned food, dried mango, dried strawberries, and oatmeal. I also have a lot of water. Also have plenty of apple juice and chocolate milk. That's good. That's very good, Jamelia. Uh, you- with as far as like your oatmeal, load up on the oatmeal. Very filling meal. Good thing to have. All you got to do is have a little hot water. You can eat it that way. So I like a little brown sugar with my oatmeal. I'm not gonna lie. So, but but anyway, grid down situation. Oh, let's do this. Okay, we're going to continue this conversation about how bad things will be in just a moment in a grid down situation. But like I said, hopefully that just the nursing home scenario gives you an idea. With that too, where are you shipping any of these people out to when they get hurt or they're going to code or anything is happening medically with them? Where are you going to send them to? There's not going to be any place to send them to. So anyway, let's do egg count. So how many eggs and yes or no for thick neck? And so it starts now. So give you guys a moment to get your guesses and we will go from there. So we'll give you a moment. Give you guys a minute. If you have not chopped that thumbs up yet, again, we're at 691 in the chat. We got 352 on a thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do that. Again, to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that ahead of time. Also, again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. So, if you had the same exact guess as DJ, who is, I believe is a first time winner, with 2 eggs and no thick neck today, then you are absolutely correct. And so they actually laid a couple eggs today, which is amazing. They have not been laying a whole lot. So DJ was the first one with the correct guess. So congratulations, DJ. You've won absolutely nothing except for bragging rights uh, to that. So there we go. All right. Okay. So getting back to what we're talking about here, again, with the nursing homes. So these people get sick, they get hurt, they fall, take a fall. Where are you shipping them out to? There's no place to ship them out to. Hospitals would be overwhelmed. Uh, Anybody on a ventilator, forget about it. They're done. As soon as the backup generators are empty of gas, and realistically, hospitals have what? A 3-day supply for a backup generator. So they're going to be out just as fast as anybody else. And excuse me, um, we're going to start the giveaways, Ron, on Sunday. We're going to start the giveaways on Sunday. So I don't know if you saw earlier, I showed the box of books came today, Ron. So thank you so much for sending them to me. I appreciate that. And we're going to start giving those away on Sunday. I can't do a giveaway now because nobody knew about it ahead of time. So that's not really fair. This way, if we know that there's going to be a giveaway on Sunday, um, we're going to do, Ron sent a bunch of books and we're going to start doing giveaways for that during the live streams. So obviously you have to be in the live stream to be able to be part of the giveaway. And I think we may do it in association with the egg count. So, but Yeah, the box just came today, Ron. So again, thank you so much for sending it down, and we will be giving away books starting on Sunday, and I think we will do it with the egg count. So whoever has the correct number with the egg count. So you got to stick around for the egg count number one. Hopefully, have the correct guess, and if you are the first person that is going to be the with the guess on that, you'll win a book, and we're going to do that until the books are gone, and so that will be a really cool thing. So yeah, it cost you a thumbs up to enter the giveaway. There you go. Oh my God, that's too funny. But I want you guys to think about it again. So that I give you a scenario of just a nursing home. Well, you look at every day, our regular hospitals on a regular daily basis are pretty full, right? Pretty full. People are going, people are getting hurt, mechanical injuries, they got, sickness, whatever the case may be. Hospitals would be overwhelmed very, very quickly. Very, very quickly, they would be overwhelmed. And on top of that, how would you get to any place? Because as soon as you ran out of gas in your vehicle, you're not pumping any more gas. The gas stations are going to have whatever they have at the gas stations, but no way to pump it. So what people will end up doing is they'll take those covers off and they'll siphon the gas out of the tanks. That won't last long either. So it would be very, very quickly, there would be no gas. So, do you have now? This is something to think about, right? Would you have alternative ways of transportation other than walking? Do you have a bicycle? Do you have spare tubes for that bicycle in case you get a flat tire? Do you have a repair kit? Do you have a pull behind little cart that you could use to put stuff in there to move stuff around? Those are things people don't think about. Don't think about that. And I'm going to tell you what, if I had to bug out and I had to go any kind of a distance to get to someplace, I would want to make sure that I had some other alternative way of transportation, uh, you know, for, like I said, like a bicycle. Would it still suck trying to ride a bike for a couple hundred miles? Yep, sure would. But I'll tell you what, it'd be a whole lot quicker riding that bicycle than it would be walking. Because, let's say the hills, there's going to be hills you're going to run into, right? It's not a flat stretch unless you live out in Kansas, so or South Dakota, where it's just straight flat land. A lot of places are not straight flat land. So, you get up to the top of that hill, and if you got a bicycle, you can go down that hill at a good clip. You know what I mean? And that's going to go a lot quicker than somebody that was walking. So, those are things to think about as well. Just planning and thinking ahead and trying to put yourself in a situation where, okay, if X, Y, or Z happens, how prepared am I for that type of a situation? And so being ready for those things. Again, making sure you have plenty of over the counter medication, just a deodorant. I mean, and I know, people may think, well, in SHTF, who cares? Hygiene is still going to be hugely, hugely important. The reason that we don't have as much sickness in this country, especially like in America, okay, the reason that we don't have as much sickness is because of proper hygiene. I wear an extra large, Marie, 2024. She asked me, what size shirt do I wear? I wear an extra large. But again, you know, people are just not prepared. So, roof is officially insulated. Awesome. Good job, Mark. Now finish those walls up. He had a good amount done with that. So, very good. But you know, putting yourself in a situation for success, making sure that your family doesn't suffer, that's important. You know, knowing people that you can work together with, that you can say, okay, at losing signal, but barrier front between us will deal with choppiness. I don't know what you mean by that, Frederick. I'm not sure what you meant. But oh, Mark, somebody's asking if you plan on insulating under the floor of your cabin if you're going to insulate underneath. Probably not a bad idea. He says yes. So just so you guys know, Mark does plan on insulating under the floor. So, but anyway, again, think of your families, especially if you have children. You know, children are innocent victims. You know, you got a pile ready to do under the floor. Cool. Um, but yeah, I know we carried enough insulation down there last night in the dark, in the rain. Oh my god, too funny. So, you hope you missed the egg count. It was 2 eggs today, Hope, with no thick neck. So that was the egg count today. But um, again, you know, it's imperative that you guys put yourself in a situation. I think it's a matter of time before we have this grid down situation, and you know, it's not going to be a pretty situation by any stretch of the imagination. Uh, and in the worst case scenario, and so let's talk about this a little bit more. You live in the Northeast. I've lived in the Northeast most of my life, right? Uh, grid down situation happens. If you don't have a wood stove, if you don't have some kind of backup alternative heat source to be able to keep you warm, people will freeze to death in their own homes. They'll freeze to death in their own homes because they're not prepared for that. They're not ready. You know, something as simple as having a two-man tent, excuse me, that you could put in a bedroom, put a mattress in there, right? Uh, Powers out, you can put mattresses in there, a ton of blankets. It gives you another layer of protection. If anybody's ever slept in a tent, you know you're in that tent and you're sleeping. You know, with your air, the air alone will keep it warmer. So if you've got a more of an isolated situation like that, putting blankets up over the windows to keep the cold out. You know, all those things. People don't think about these things. They just don't. You know, they're not in that situation. Who has plastic? I mean, think about it. How many people have plastic? You know, rolls of plastic that they keep around just to have around. Most people don't. But I'll tell you what, if you put that layer of plastic up and then you have, you know, it taped around there and having the tape to tape it around there. Well, 1 second after goes me. Well, most of us do because that's what we do. We are, you know, we're prepared. That's what we're trying to plan ahead. But most people don't. That's the point that I'm making. Most people don't. So the unprepared are going to be in really desperate shape. And again, and I've told you guys this before, and I'm going to say this again. The most dangerous person in a post event is the person that is scared and desperate because they have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. So they're going to do what they need to do. So you need to be prepared for that. Okay. You know, you need to be prepared for that. I would encourage you guys, and here's the benefit of what I've done here. Okay. Because I've put the plastic up and I've put, you know, that, it's like a felt, I guess. I put the felt up on the windows. It's like blackout curtains. Uh, Mark got here yesterday and he said, I didn't see any lights. He goes, I didn't know if you were up or not. Yeah, I was up. The lights were on, but you can't see from outside now. So if I have the lights on, it's not going to make a difference. So that actually also helps in an SHTF situation because I could be in the camper and go ahead and have the lights on, but nobody's going to be able to tell. Yes, yep, rolls of barbed wire to protect too. Yeah, it's not a bad thing to have. You can pick up rolls of barbed wire at like Tractor Supply and those type of things, and that would be not a bad thing to have if somebody's trying to, you know, for a defensive situation where you're looking to defend your home. You know, make them earn it if they're going to come. So, North Alabama hiking, thank you very much. He says, glad to see you back on YouTube. I'm glad to be back. I'll be honest with you. I'm really happy to be back. It's been a weird week not being on, you know. I will tell you this: one of the things that I did, you know, I had that sickness, as everybody knew, and I was not feeling. I've been definitely taking my vitamins again, and actually, I started walking again. So I've been doing. I didn't today because we were very busy today. So I was busy in a different way. But what I've been starting to do is every morning when I wake up, I started walking. And the first day I walked out to my mailbox and came back. And you think, well, that's not too far. Uh, 1.6 miles, because it's 8 tenths of a mile from back here by the camper to the mailbox. So 8 tenths of a mile. So I walked up, went to the mailbox, came back. Uh, the other day, I took a walk. I went through the woods, and I just was kind of like exploring, looking through some different areas that I hadn't seen. And where I came out a lot farther away than I thought. So I don't even know what I walked that day, maybe 3 miles, three and a half, something like that. I don't even know. But what happened to all the cats you had? They're still in New York. Heather's taking care of them. Yep. Caesar and Pandora are also still in New York, with Heather. You know, what I'm probably going to do when I go back to New York in the spring, I'm probably bringing Soxy back with me. So Soxy's probably going to come with me because Heather said that Soxy keeps attacking Bella or Hella, no, Stella. She keeps attacking Stella. So she says I don't. She goes, I don't want her here. So I said I'll take her. What is the fabric felt you're using, please? I don't know what the name of it is. What they use it for? It's like I said. I'll show you the thickness of it. All right. It it's pretty thick. It feels pretty good. They use it for. I, I got it at Walmart, and I like the feel of it as well. It's really soft, but it's thicker. So, yeah. So anyway, so it's like a fleece. Yes. Yep. And Locky, thank you. I couldn't think of yes. They use it for blankets and that type of stuff or stuffing and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, it's I. So what I'm actually going to do is I got one more window to do, and then what I'm actually going to do also is I'm going to make one long enough that covers the door from the camper as well. And then like when I go in or out, I just slide it to the side, and that one will just hang. But again, that'll be another layer of protection. And we are behind. Look at us. See here. I'm talking away, and it's shout out time. So let me get to my list if I can find it here. I will find it here shortly. Ah, here we go. Okay, I got it. But oh yeah, wool blankets, guys. Yes, Troy just was talking about. He said you need heavy duty military wool blankets. They're great to have. I have some of them as well. Love them. And the best part about a wool blanket is if it gets wet, it'll still keep you warm. So really good to have. So I would encourage you can pick up some wool blankets. Really good thing to have. All right, shout out time. We're going to start out with Icky Can up in Canada. If you would go up and support him, I absolutely would appreciate that. He's a really good guy, and thank you ahead of time. We have Angry Prepper Jason down in New York City. Definitely go show him some support as well. Love Jason. You have Alaska Prepper, which is Rudy up in Alaska. Imagine that. I actually said it right this time. You have Alaska Granny. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and myself, Reliance. Two different channels, same guy, really good guy. A lot. He's up in Canada doing his building up there. Really cool to watch. You have Demcad. I like Demcad. I think he's an awesome guy as well, and I like the information that he's putting out as well. There's Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. There is 80K Man, who is in the Adirondacks in New York. You also have Bizariza Jizza, who is doing the Carrington Chronicles. Really interesting thing to listen to, so definitely check him out. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. Good channel out there as well. You have Magic Prepper, who is in North Dakota. Wrangle Star with Cody. He's been jamming out the shorts lately as well, doing a lot of stuff, giving a lot of good information. Really good channel, a lot of good stuff there. You have Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily. You have Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota. Nice young couple up there living off grid. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team, two different channels, but a lot of good information with them as well. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. You have Green Greg's. There is Southern Prepper One. You have Gray Man Prepping, St. Bernard Acres with Joe. There is Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have a really good channel as well. So definitely check them out and show them some support. You have the Nomadic Movement. There is the Green Dream Project, who was out in Arizona. There's Camping with Steve, Steve Wallace, who does stealth camping. A lot of fun to watch what he does there. Really good guy. Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader, another really good channel. There's Boss to the Swamp. He's been around forever and a day. Definitely check him out. Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, another really good channel. A lot of good information with Diamond. Smart, smart man. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. There's City Prepper, Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer, Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear from the Canary Islands in La Palma. Also, we have Mary Greeley News. A lot of great information. She keeps us updated on what's happening with Yellowstone and everything like that. So definitely check her out as well. You have Adapt 2030. There is Malachi's Corner, Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, you need to get your weather from Ryan Hall Y'all. Great guy, gives back to the community hugely. Really good channel. He's doing very, very well. Definitely check him out. You have Russell Brand. Love Russell Brand as well. He gives you the information. I don't know how Russell Brand hasn't got strikes. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how he does. But he has gives you the information and lets you decide. And I like that part of that. You have Deep South Homestead. There is The Outsider, The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed. There's Townsend's. You have The Prepared Mind out in California. There is Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee, East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and last but not least, the Little House Off Griddy, who is also in Tennessee. So a lot of good channels out there, guys. A lot of good information. I'm sure there's a lot that you like that I didn't mention. I can only mention so many. So those are the ones that I recommend. Definitely go check that. Yeah, Duchesne is real. That's another good channel. Absolutely. Um, but a lot of good channels out there. We should be supporting each other. Go to these channels that I've mentioned. Tell them Prepper Nurse One sent you. Like I said, I think it's good to support each other. So once again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that really quickly to show support for the channel. What are we at? 470. Let's see. Let's shoot for 550. We only got like 10 minutes, but that would be 80 more thumbs up. So let's see if we can hit 550 on the thumbs up, guys. So I appreciate that just for fun. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So I do appreciate that for that reason. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. So what are we at? 493 now. So we need 57 more thumbs up. So let's see if we can hit 550. That'll be just for fun. But a lot of good information out there. A lot of people are looking at things in a different way, and I think that that's a good thing. I think it's good to get a different perspective of what people see and what they think. So I think that's really, really important. Please question how to protect glass plate window. Brick house can't lift plywood sheets. Well, you might not be able to lift plywood sheets, but if you could pick up like 2x4s and get some brackets in the wall and kind of set them that way, that would be some help, some protection. As far as you know, can't pick up plywood sheets, you could make smaller sheets of plywood that you could, piece in together. That might be an option as well. Have that in front, and then have like 2x4s that are buttoned up to that. So yeah, hurricane shutters is another option. Absolutely. So there's a lot of different things that you could possibly do for that. Yeah, because it's an easy access point when you have a plate glass window like that. I know that in my property when I was in Greece, New York, the front was this and then curved. It's a huge front window, and it was pretty. And my dogs broke out two of the planes two different times, or panels of glass, which we had to replace. But yeah, but yeah, hurricane shutters are a good way to do it too. Absolutely. I would make sure that you have a way to secure your doors. There's different things out on the market that you can use that if they're using a battering ram or any of that type of stuff. I mean, you guys have seen it how or somebody trying to kick somebody's door down. If you have that, there's things that you can use, bars that you can have that set into the floor that's going to make sure that they kick that door all day long and it's not going to come open. Uh, you know, but if you can, I mean, there's always you can get brackets that you can put on both sides of the door that when you're home, you take a 2x4 or a couple 2x4s and put them down through the door in different spots. Nobody's kicking that door and kicking it through the 2x4. So steel doors are the best and lock. Yep, can't disagree there. But again, making sure that you have it secured so that people can't get in there and do you damage is going to be really really important. All right, so we're at 516. The goal is 550 on a thumbs up, so we're getting there. Let's see if we can hit that. We got what 34 more to go, guys. All right, let's do this at this point. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? So let us do that, and we'll see where everybody is from. We have Dayton, Ohio. Philip is back in the house from Melbourne, Australia. Did you have a power outage out there, Philip? Because you were gone for a while. We have Clyde from Inverness, Florida, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Franklin County, Ohio. We have Waterloo, New York, South Dakota, New Hampshire, Erin, Tennessee, Arizona, Minnesota, Fort Worth, Texas with Sonia, Northern Michigan, Texas is in the house, Western New York. We have New Mexico, the beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds, Alabama's in the house with Ron Foster, Central Iowa, Robert, Washington, D.C., very nice. Let's see, Charlotte County, Florida with Gloria, Edgewater, Florida with Judy, Northern Europe, glad to have you here. We have Nate from New Mexico, East Oregon with Lady Wolf, BC, Canada with Emil, glad to have you here, Emil. South Carolina, St. Augustine, Florida with Diane, Smoky Mountains, East Tennessee with Lena. We have Minnesota's in the house, Middle Tennessee with Stephanie, Indiana with Buster, Finleyville, Pennsylvania with Susie, Suquamish, Washington. I probably said that, I butchered the crap out of that, I'm sure, but glad to have you here. Jamelia from Washington, D.C., glad to have you here. East Lake, Ohio, West Virginia, Linny. So, oh, you're living in Mississippi, but you're from West Virginia. Beautiful. Milo, Texas with David. Northwest Arkansas with Betty's in the house. Massachusetts, Big Dog. Tucson, Arizona with Angela. Central Pennsylvania with Jen. Western Montana with Marie. Northwest Arkansas, Miss Sunshine Susie. Canadian Prepper Nate. Let's see, we got Long Island, New York with Bonnie. Beth from Illinois. We have Granny Prepper from Kansas. So again, guys, we are all over the freaking place. We're all over the world. We're all over the country. We got Kimberly from Kentucky's in the house. Verone, BC, Canada with Gypsy Mama Prepper. Let's see, Bumstead, Florida with Frederick. A weather front between us, Frederick. Okay. Uh, Dindwilly, Virginia, Mr. Black Cat. So again, guys, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge, huge network of people. Uh, it's amazing how many are out there. We're a huge family. We're the ones we can make a difference now by trying to educate people. We're truly going to make a difference after an SHTF event because we're going to be the ones that are ready to go, and we're going to be able to help people to help themselves and teach them. Because I'm going to guarantee you this: they may not be willing to listen now. They may not be willing to help now. But after an SHTF event, they sure will. We got Wanda from South Carolina's in the house. Very nice. But what are we at? 536. So we need 14 more, guys. 14 more thumbs up to hit that 550. So got John from the great state of Texas. JJ, could you throw the link up there for Little House Upgrading for Stephanie, please? She needs that link so she can go check them out. But again, continue to prep, continue to get ready, do what you need to do to put yourself in the best position to be successful. That's what we need to think about. We got Western Kentucky with Greg in the house. So, English guy living in Chatham, Ontario. Very nice. Glad to have you here, Sean. But JJ just threw that link up for you for a little house upgrading, folks. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate that. So, but again, just continue to do what you can. Be as ready as you can. Uh, when that happens, and I think again, it's a matter of when, not if. It's going to be a horrible, horrible situation, and it's going to get ugly really, really fast because again, those of us that are prepared is basically 7% of the country, and those that are not is 93% of the country. 93%. So, what do you think they're going to be like? We got Mary Ann from Utica, New York. Very nice. Torrance, California with Susan. Very cool. So anyway, guys, just do what you can. We're 550. We hit that 550. Very, very cool. So it's amazing how you guys always can make that number work. We've had a couple times where it was, I think we had once, only one time I kind of guesstimated too high and we never made it. So, but anyway, folks, I want to thank my moderators who always do a great job, who are always there for supporting me, and I do appreciate all of them. And so, thank you guys for doing what you do, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. I want to thank all you guys for being here. I've missed you. I have. A week of not being online is weird, and it is. It's definitely strange being not on a regular basis like I normally am. So I'm really happy to be back, and I appreciate all of you for being here. Also, you know, we got to remember, folks, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. And they're going to continue to do it. It's not going to change, but just, do what you can. Don't let them use race, religion, political affiliation, the vax, the unvax. It's all tools used to keep us fighting amongst each other, and we can't let them do it. We cannot let them win. Okay, we have to come together. We have to work together. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's gonna happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that is going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. Keep working at it, keep prepping, guys. I got to tell you something really quickly. You'll find this funny. I was talking to my sister Becky today, and they've been working on cleaning up, where obviously my house up there where Heather's at, and she's trying to make it her own and clean things up. And so they're working on stuff, and and it's tough work. It's cleaning everything up. And so Heather says to Becky, "Well, Aunt Becky, STD, step, thing, and day, one step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time." And it's like so ingrained in her now that it's just that's her mindset, and that's awesome. And I thought that was great. And so if you use that mantra, you can use it for anything, and that's the cool part of it. So anyway, folks, have a great night. I will see you all tomorrow. Be safe. Prepper Nurse One out for now.